Our ultimate goal has to be living in the land in Eretz Israel, even over living in the abundance and luxury of the land of exile. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10 Minute Torah, and today we continue day 2 of Vayeki. There is something to be said about the first time that you experience the land. I have had the privilege of being in the land 4 times so far, twice with my wife, and each time has been a different and exhilarating experience with a different level of import and impact. Anytime I go to the land, before I leave, I'm already anticipating the opportunity to come back. There's something about being in the land of Israel that grabs your heart and will not let go. Yesterday at the conclusion, I failed to get to the second part of the import of the verse in verse 29 of chapter 47 that says, "And the time for Israel to die drew near, and he called his son Joseph." I want to focus on that part of, "and he called Joseph." Of all of the sons that were available to him, when he realized, I'm dying, my time is near, he called Joseph. Why Joseph? It's not that he loved Joseph to the exception of all of the other sons, but it was Joseph in particular who had the power and the authority to carry out his death wish. As we continue to read, he says, "Please do not bury me in Mitzrayim, but I shall lie with my fathers, and you shall take me up out of Mitzrayim and bury me in their burial place." That would be the cave of Machpelah. And he said, "I will do as you have said." Yaakov pushed him further. Perhaps we should say Israel pushed him further and said, "Swear to me. Do this on an oath." He had requested, "Put your hand under my thigh." This is a symbolic gesture of swearing on the mark of circumcision, the mark of the covenant. And by virtue of the import and the power, the integrity of the covenant, I want you to swear to me that you will bury me with my fathers. And Joseph said, "I swear." Why was it so important for Yaakov to lie in a particular location after death? After all, once he's dead, the body is of no consequence, at least for the interim. I used the verse yesterday where Yeshua said that unless a seed dies or falls into the ground and dies, it cannot bear fruit. There is something specific, something very important about the patriarchs being buried in Hebron, in the land, that is significant to the coming of the resurrection. When Yeshua returns, the patriarchs are not going to rise up of some foreign soil, but they will rise up from the very heart of the land, into the land of Hebron, and they will stand alive again in the coming kingdom. The scriptures describe to us from the words of the prophets how that Yeshua will send his messengers forth to the 4 corners of the earth, and there he will gather his elect and bring them together with him to his kingdom. I'm like you. I'm yearning for and longing for the opportunity to see the kingdom come in our day. It's important that you and I realize that wherever it is that we live, for me, it's here in Virginia, in a beautiful place. I love this state. I'm a 10th generation Virginian. I am a 13th generation American. But at my core, at my essence, I'm Hebrew. I can't claim a blood lineage. I can't trace myself back to any significant Hebrew individual, but by virtue of adoption through a significant Hebrew, Yeshua the Messiah. I am Hebrew. I am Hebrew in my thought, and increasingly so. I am Hebrew in my world perspective, and again, increasingly so. I am Hebrew in my chosen lifestyle, my culture, and if I work at it enough, in my language. But I am seeking to make this transition from an American or a Virginian American to a Hebrew. Why? Because my master, my king, is a Hebrew. He is a Jew in particular. And I seek to serve him in his kingdom. If someone were to come from a foreign nation to be a part of our nation here in America, to be significant and strategic in the government setup, it would be anticipated and understood that he would leave his cultural identity, his previous allegiance to what other nation he came from, and become an American. American in his perspective, his culture, his language, his worldview. Should any less then be expected of you and I as we become citizens of a kingdom? We're not waiting for the kingdom to physically appear on the earth to become such citizens, but we study the Torah even now. We change our worldview. We change our lifestyle even now in anticipation that our kingdom citizenship is already in effect, and it will become an ultimate reality at the appearance of our King. There needs to be then the development of the heart of Yaakov to give preeminence to the land. Now, unfortunately, many have gone to the land and they have, quote unquote, walked where Jesus walked. And that had been their goal. They had seen some presentation about a tour and it was being offered. They have gone with some renowned teacher, preacher, evangelist, personality type, and they are one among perhaps as many as 100 or more, 3 or 4 buses long, going throughout the land, visiting the Church of the Nativity, the various quote-unquote Christian sites that are given preeminence and prominence. They failed to, however, enable one to vitally connect to the land and to its people. The need of going to the land is not walking so much where our Messiah walked, but becoming one with the family that our Messiah belongs to. Becoming a part of an identity, experiencing a reality of what is Israel. Now, the sovereign state of Israel as it is currently expressed is not what Yeshua experienced by far. But there are so many things that are the same. You can stand on Elan Moreh and see what Abraham saw at a significant time of entering the land. You can look at Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal and realize that the patriarchs moved in and out and around this valley area of Shechem. You can go to the Gilil, to the Kinneret, or the Galilee, as we say, and you can visit the ruins of towns that Yeshua trafficked through. You can go to the Golan. You can go to Jerusalem and experience the majesty of that city, even in its current political environment. My friend, you and I must develop the heart of Yaakov. It says, for all of the wonder, the splendor, the abundance, the supply of Mitzrayim, my land of exile, my heart is for Israel. And I yearn to be in the land, to walk in the dust of my forefathers' feet, and realize that the kingdom is going to be here, that Yeshua is going to be here, that the world's perspective, the world's focal point will be here. And if this is where Yeshua is, then this is where I want to be. Until tomorrow, shalom.